Welcome back, everybody, to the 2025 C3 Finals. It's Championship Sunday. Joining me again here is Skyline. Excited to be here for Championship Sundays and getting things underway.
I've been looking forward to this, Bear Lights. I mean, all these teams from around the Carolinas finally getting to compete on Championship Sunday in the playoff to try to take home that title that Charlotte has held for so long now. And with how Charlotte was looking yesterday, it is very possible that one of these teams is going to be the new holder of that trophy.
There's no doubt about it. And so right now, we're going to get you right into the match because they are ready to go, cranking it up as well. So UNCW facing off with Winthrop here today. Winthrop came into the weekend as the number 2 seed. They'll remain number 2 as well coming into Championship Sunday. So all things considered, they had a solid showing, but there are some holes and gaps there as well. I mean, they went 0-3 against Clemson. That opens the door a little bit. So from the perspective of UNCW, you got to imagine they're feeling at least a little bit hopeful here going into this match.
Yeah, I mean, even so with that loss, because Clemson was playing really good during that, Winthrop still did good on the day, sweeping Charlotte, and not only sweeping Charlotte, but taking South Carolina to 5. So South Carolina, obviously being the number 1 seed, is going to be a hard team to beat for most of these teams. But Wilmington, they were a team that looked to start out really good into this to the day yesterday, and then yesterday they started slowing down a little bit towards the end. So they need to look to pick it right back up if they want to beat a team like Winthrop in order to win and try to make it past even this part of the portion of the bracket. Considering this is only top 8, we still got a ways to go.
Yeah, certainly do. And we appreciate you joining us as well. There's a main channel also, so OpenC3 Esports League 2. We got our first goal on the board here of the day on this channel, at least, as Akari will give them a 1-0 lead.
Just a nice little play. The demo coming out from Phantom, and Akari just has to play a nice little shot on target. No one back as Sluggish was 0, and that's just going to be a great way to start out for Winthrop. You're looking to start out the series strong, so 1-0 with a little bit over 4 minutes remaining, and they're going to look to try to keep the pressure on, but UNC Wilmington, they're looking to go right back onto that orange half as you see the pressure and mounting the bumps trying to come out from Reticle as Steve going up in the air, forcing for Sluggish, but that's going to go right back into the hands for Winthrop. Another shot going on target, but a great save from Reticle is going to play that off the backboard and out.
Yeah, Reticle was there and prepared, and you love to see that coming out for them for sure as they continue to try and chase this game. Again, just 3:48 left, so lots of time here on the board as Phantom will 50-50 pretty strongly. Ball and find its way in the box. And Steve also catching a challenge there, but Reticle able to get it past midline. Has some room to work with too. It will be cut short though, as Phantom was able to get to that one, but a good pass from Reticle. Tried that tough angle, but shut down again by Tech.
Once again, we have Wilmington on the half of the orange, and they're looking to take it right back as Winthrop starting to fall apart a little as almost a shot going on target from Steve, but the whiff as one expected the other to hit it, so leading to both missing it. And again, the pressure just amounting for Winthrop, which we saw them do so well yesterday. They're a team that knows how to play around each other and be in the right spots. As you see, the force is coming out, but the force is not enough, and the Seahawks are squawking loud already in the morning.
Sometimes you got to be creative in this 1v1 situation. You can tell Reticle was prepared for it. It's the flick past one, and then instead of getting behind that ball, smart play to just jump out, secure the bump, knowing that the ball is going to continue in. They're able to equalize here with 3:04 left.
A lot of players in that situation were trying to prioritize mechanics, but being able to use your brain right there and have that game sense to know he's last back. If he's out of the play, then no one can save it. A great way to start out the scoring for UNC Wilmington as another one goes on target for Winthrop, but barely over. T-Neck has to rotate out as it's just going right back into the hands of Seahawks. They're already looking good to start off with all this pressure that's mounting is stuck on their half, but again, the defense we also saw yesterday from them was really strong. They knew how to be on that back line and be able to make those saving clears, even with low boost. So this is a Winthrop team that has to go for those demos more. They have to clear them out, or else UNC Wilmington's just going to keep playing clear after clear.
Yeah, they even played extremely strong against USC, which is the best team yesterday, in my opinion. I mean, they played extremely well. Their defense was on point. There was hardly any gaps shown, and so NCW, the other side of the coin, certainly should feel good about the start, all things considered. Yeah, they've been on the goal line for an extended period of time, but they've created some chances of their own, and need to make those decisions that we saw from Reticle. Need a lot more of that, because if you can sustain that, that's how you really find your stride here as a Seahawk.
And another player that I'm going to be looking out for, Sluggish, I remember yesterday, kind of were joking around in the Asheville series about like how his car looked like their others when they were using the Chevys. But he was doing a really good job on defense. He was like one of their main priority defenders on the back end. He was playing a safe third man to allow his teammates to kind of go out a little bit more and play that upfield presence. As we almost see a double coming out from Phantom there, as Winthrop once again keeping all the pressure on all three up. Another shot going on in the corner, and no boost for Sluggish there, and he can't reach that one. That's a 2-1 lead for Winthrop.
Yeah, they just seemed handcuffed here when it got past Sluggish, and Tech was just able to direct this one on target, and Sluggish and Reticle just kind of hesitating as far as being able to get back to that one. So unlucky circumstance for them, but it feels like a job well done and well accomplished from what Winthrop was building there.
Winthrop is a team that we just have to keep out looking for on the offense. I guarantee if we looked at ball possession here, it'd probably be getting like 60-40, 65-35. They've kept it on that blue half so much this game, and Wilmington is a team that knows how to capitalize on those opportunities when they get them, but so does Winthrop. I mean, what a double tap there from Phantom. Low boost, don't matter. That's just down and in.
Reticle was prepared to kind of flip that to himself, but he got bumped out of the play. And when that happens, Phantom, no hesitation as always. I mean, he's up and prepared. He's able to get up to that one, tap it down. A 3-1 lead from Winthrop, looking to close out here in this game number 1. And if you're just joining us, we appreciate you being here. A big shout out and thank you to everybody here at NC State as well on the staff. Just doing a fantastic job this entire weekend and continues into this championship Sunday as well. It's now Phantom from the back wall. Gets a flip reset. Almost some help out in front with the bump, but not quite able to land that one here. That'll open the door a little bit here for UNCW. He needs one pretty quickly here.
After that loss against South Carolina yesterday, you know that they came into today with that on their mind. They're like, okay, we know we need to go with vengeance. We want to put it hard in. And exactly what they do against Wilmington. Wilmington being that first matchup, and they are just going right at them every single time. Demos coming through, shots going on, and Wilmington has not found an answer.
Yeah, nothing special on that one, just pure speed and allowing your teammates to work out. You saw the demo earlier. That's going to free up space, and if you're going to allow that much space, it's going to be deadly, especially against Winthrop. So we'll see if they can kind of avoid those bumps, demos, that physicality. That's the only way you're going to be able to operate, because I feel like Winthrop's not going to give up that same strategy, as they're not letting off the gas pedal here either.
Yeah, the Seahawks right now, they should be looking towards, it's still 30 seconds in the game, and I mean, 3 goals, 30 seconds, it's very possible, but highly unlikely. So try to use this time to kind of understand, okay, how are they playing against us? What's making us so uncomfortable, so awkward against a team like Winthrop, to where we can adjust for next game and bring ourselves back in the series? Because right now, Wilmington hasn't looked terrible. They've just looked suffocated on their own end, to where they cannot get out.
That's a good point, because, you know, a lot of people say, and they talk about it, they harp on the fact that, you know, first 3 minutes or so, you're figuring out the team. No, it's a full game, especially in that circumstance where you are down. You want to be able to kind of establish yourself in a series. Great time to do it by trying to figure out now and maybe get some momentum by seeing another goal go in. And that's what you're seeing right here as they try to allow that to develop and maybe get that momentum swinging, keeping it in the air. Even a roll one to add to it as well. So either way, Winthrop will walk away with this game number 1 victory, and rightfully so. I mean, they were great from the get-go.
Yeah, and don't forget, Barely, this is all best of 7s now. Yesterday was best of 5, but since it's best of 7s, they all get a timeout. I know it's only after 1 game, but if Wilmington does end up losing the next team, you would expect them to probably call a timeout just to kind of get things gathered. But let's see if they learn anything from this game. Again, Winthrop is just playing very push heavy, going for those demos, making them as awkward as possible on that backline to where they can't make those saves, and even if they have someone there, they're almost always 0 boost. So Winthrop is going to be looking to constantly engage in that, because it's working. The Seahawks have had no answer for it. They're going to be looking for one, but right now, this pop quiz has seemed like a very hard task for Winthrop to pass.
Yeah, they're looking for answers, but the answer for game number 1 was Phantom with 9 shots, just laying it on there, and just felt like it as well. They've been absolutely incredible across the board. So it's just awesome being able to see them in motion. Winthrop picking up where they left off day 2 and day 1 rather, and it's just seemed like even though they lost to USC late, they wanted to make a statement piece here. If you're going to do it, make sure that you win the ones that you feel like you should as a player. And so far, so good in that game 1.
I mean, like you were saying, 15 shots in total for Winthrop compared to only 4 for Wilmington. That tells you how detrimental it was to be on that orange half and just trying to get it out into that blue half over and over and over again, to where the blue half was just being suffocated as the Seahawks just could not end up finding a way over the Winthrop, as both take to the skies. But right now, Winthrop is the one, I guess the bird of prey that's a little bit stronger than the Seahawk right now. So again, the Seahawks are going to be looking to try to get back into this one and recoup after what happened last game.
Love that. Vicari's on it now. Early up the kickoff, getting something going here, at least in the positive direction. They spent a lot of time in their defensive zone. Right now, they're starting on the opposite side of the ball. We're seeing Tech back here in the corner. Anthem's out in front, but he took a little bit long here to get to that one, and Reticles make him pay here. The 1-0 lead here for the Seahawks.
Already a great start for Wilmington. I mean, what a way to put the pressure on by Steve. First man attacking that ball quick, not giving any space to Winthrop. And second man immediately trusting in that, playing in quick and getting the free shot, as the third man was a little bit too overcommitted on it. Exactly what you need to see from Wilmington if you want them to win. If you're a Seahawk fan here in the chat, you know that they have the ability to beat a team like Winthrop. They just have to keep this momentum going. But right now, Winthrop is looking to get out of their own half and put the momentum right back onto the blue side with a demo coming out from T-Neck. Phantom goes for the musty under, but Steve with a good save, but it doesn't matter. The third man, Nakari, was already ready for that and playing it in the net.
Yeah, the thought was there, and Steve got over to get that challenge and got over Tech originally, got that touch too, and even jumped for that one too. It's kind of stinks being there in that situation, knowing that you had the opportunity to be able to save it and put in your 110% there in that effort. They're just a little bit stronger, and that's what happens when you're facing such an organized team. You're going to face those situations a lot, and that's why you have to play as a unit against Winthrop.
Yeah, I mean, Winthrop, again, you just see the demos coming out left and right, just with how aggressive they are. I mean, T-Neck is just a bulldozer hammering through. Somebody call the construction company, because we just witnessed so much demolition.
Oh my goodness. He's bullying him there on the backside. Man, that was rude. That was rude. But listen, do what you gotta do to win here at Championship Sunday. Listen, there's nothing but obvious, drive here to win the championship, and you're gonna do what you gotta do in order to get the job done. They even had some fun with that too. I heard them laughing across the room too whenever that was going through, because they have the positive vibes. They knew that it's a way that they can get in the heads of UNCW, and it seems to be working right now.
I mean, heck, if you're T-Neck and going for stuff like that, I mean,
wow.
Anja scoring off the pass to doing it all, clearing the space, playing the passes, getting the goals. I mean, he is just on a run early this morning. You think maybe he had a good night's sleep, because you can tell he is on something else and is working perfectly for Winthrop.
It's been great, man, watching this team operate. And unfortunately, on the other side of the coin here for UNCW, it feels like that was the backbreaker quite literally. Whenever you have that 1v1 situation with Steve, it's like, well, I gave everything and still weren't able to find a way to save that ball, and it makes it very difficult. Although UNCW here on the goal line need to be able to punch it in, but unfortunately, after two opportunities, they come up dry.
The fourth man just barely reaching in and knocking that one out for Wilmington, as the post saves the day once again. And that just looks so close. It went from an open opportunity for Winthrop to almost an open opportunity for Wilmington. So kind of going back and forth, but still that 3-1 scoreline is looming over the heads of the Seahawks, as they got to try to get one back. They still got plenty of time, only 3 minutes remaining, so all the time to work with. But with Winthrop still threatening, the pre-jump coming out, you can tell how confident they are today. When you see pre-jumps like that coming out and the passes going through, you already know it's going to be a good day for a team if they're able to keep that kind of confidence for the rest of it.
Definitely, and you're seeing them, they're not even, facing the consequences of those pre-jumps in a sense, because they're out of boost and then having to rotate back out, and still somehow able to get around and do it with that confidence. And spacing has been basically perfect. That allows you to operate in that way. We talked about it yesterday that Winthrop was doing it. We see it again showcased here, as that one will go out to midfield. You mentioned there was 2:30 left on the clock, so you still have some time. Here's a grand opportunity. Need to score that one, and they do.
Radical just playing that outlet downfield after the touch to Steve, and a kind of an unfortunate situation for Winthrop where they just barely skimmed it off Steve's touch. It wasn't strong enough to get there, but Radical playing in that position, realizing Steve at least had the touch and got the lucky bounce of the two, so that's going to be a free shot for them, and they still have a goal to come back from, but half the game remaining. Remember, Winthrop, they are strong when it comes to putting that counterattack pressure on, and when the Wilmington right now is finding it hard to get through it unless they get these counterattacks themselves. So they got to try to regroup themselves, or else this might be another one for Winthrop as the shot goes high. The double goes barely off, and that's going to go right into the hands of T-Neck in the corner.
Yeah, I thought Phantom might be able to finish that one. We've seen it before. NCW have inched their way back into it with 2:01 left. Here's Phantom playing it high. There's Tech up for it already. He'll go back wall. Radical right it though. Get pinch off the back wall as well. Usually you see UNCW anticipating that and getting down the field, but nobody was up to be able to get to that one, because they were still rotating around after the last onslaught of Winthrop had come through, and Sluggish played down the field.
It's like, I mean, just the pressure. You see all three overcommit for Winthrop. This is a prime opportunity for Wilmington, but Sluggish just no boost in the corner of Winthrop, and they just cannot find a way out. finally Reticle gets over one, the second man able to get the 50, and Steve trying to keep all the press he can, but it doesn't matter. Here comes Winthrop, all three grouped together, ready to take on this Seahawks squad, but right now, T-Neck tries to get the 50 down, Steve almost landing on it, and Phantom gets a free clear out. Wilmington now finally finding the rhythm and getting the press down, but with the kinds of passes like that, they just miss out on so many opportunities, and Winthrop tries to take these counters. They got to be more capitalize more on these kind of opportunities, because right now with only a minute remaining, your series hopes to get best of 7, not best of 5, but it doesn't matter. T-Neck is going to try to make sure that you get down 2-0 and possible timeout after this game, unless Wilmington can come back.
Oh, absolutely, because it's gotten to that point where you've tried and tossed about everything that you have in this moment, so take an extra moment to be able to figure it out from here. So I think a timeout should be incoming here, especially if they can't mount this comeback, which feels like a long shot. That pass, you mentioned it, sluggish, had that opportunity to be able to put it. I think it just rolled off his car. You got to put it out of your mind here. Those unfortunate things may happen. You have to be able to execute. You're 100% right. So we'll go back to Nakari. Even more time with that air drag, but big credit Reticle for being up there. That allows Steve to step up on his place. Almost got another touch while he's up there with the ceiling, but I don't connect with that one as this one will fall back into the hands of Phantom. He'll look back down the pitch. Got a couple of touches. Force Steve to go up in the corner, get that touch, and now UNCW the other way. Nobody back here. Steve is trying to punch it in, but another opportunity where somehow Winthrop will just end it before it even begins.
And you got to think, unless they get a goal here, that is going to be for sure game 2 over as Steve tries to get that one up. And now they just look to the next couple games. He said you might see the timeout come here depending on whether they decide to take it or not. I suggest they do. And something I say as a coach, as I coach the East Tennessee State boys, is that you'll see, like, you know, rotations is a heavy part of the game, and obviously mechanics are another. But to me, the most important thing about a game is how you are mentally prepared in certain situations, especially if you're going down in series. Are you able to keep yourself in the mind space of, okay, we know we're better than this team. It's just been a fluke these past 2 games or whatever, and we do see the timeout coming out as Reticle has called it in the chat, so we will get about an extra minute after the next match screen ends to see them kind of talk it over. And you already know that they're going to be talking about how demo heavy that Winthrop's been. They need to be more aggressive. They need to slow down Winthrop by putting their own pace in it. They got to go quicker at this and make Winthrop awkward, or else they are just going to keep that pressure on, and T-Neck is going to continue to just cause an onslaught on the back end.
Yeah, and somebody has to be able to organize this one. It's going to be Reticle here, because I know, score isn't everything here, and stats aren't everything either, but Reticle had 2 goals, so clearly he's seeing the pitch from a full perspective in a way that UNCW is able to find opportunities to beat Winthrop in moments rather than in full games, unfortunately for them. But why not have Reticle be the one to call a timeout, be able to organize this, be the leader of UNCW right now, because clearly he's seeing something that he wants the rest of the team to know. So take that extra minute, point out what that is, figure it out, and come back into game number 3 stronger.
Yeah, Winthrop, you have to take advantage of this timeout too, because they're going to try to adjust to you. They're going to be looking, okay, they know what we're doing. We have to be careful about this. Play a little bit more this way or this way. If Winthrop just decides, okay, let's go back into it, same thing that's been working, and Wilmington finally figures it out and actually adjusts to it in the game, then that is going to be a lot to pay, because they're going to start losing game after game until they end up calling their own timeout and try to be like, okay, what do we fix now? If you're Winthrop, you got to fix it. You got to change it up just a little bit, not too much, because it's been working great, but just enough to where they're going to try to mess with you a little bit. But Wilmington, you got to know this as well. You got to be like, okay, this is how they played. We got to do this if we want to win, and that's exactly what I expect to see them. Reticle try to lead his team into.
Is it more of a proactivity that you're looking for from Winthrop, in the fact that, hey, I know that they're making adjustments, let's just try to tweak something and then throw them off? Or is it more of a reaction where you're coming into the first couple of minutes and saying, okay, what are they doing? Are you confident enough as Winthrop, to go back out, react to what they're doing, and then be able to create a counter strategy of your own?
Yeah, Winthrop, if I were them, realistically, Wilmington is going to try to get more demo heavy. They've realized that Winthrop has gone more Adam. The only way to really counter that is to do it right back. If they can't demo you, if you demo them, if you're off the pitch, they can't do anything to you. So you got to be more aware of that. Play quicker around them. The second you see them pushing up, watch that first man. I guarantee you they're going to be leaving that ball a little bit more and having that second man follow instead. Play around it. Just go immediately and challenge, so that way the demo can't go through. They're forced one back, and then Winthrop has a free 2v2 to take.
Let's keep an eye on this as we approach game number 3. See if that is the strategy indeed that they're going to go with. We're moving into this one here. UNCW has done a good job in the first minute. Again, just seems to get away from them a little bit later on. longer in games. As a couple of unfortunate touches there for Reticle. Will be off the backside of the car in a demo. Once again, we talked about that physical strategy. Winthrop is not going to change that, and there's another opportunity in the box because of it. And luckily for UNCW, they get out this time. They've actually organized something from the defensive end. That's something we didn't see in game number 2.
And they looked a lot more gathered, but they still got to get aggressive. And here we go with the passing plays. Reticle had the opportunity off the demo from Steve. A great team play, but just a miss. And that is going to be such a bad opportunity just thrown to the wayside. We see them still keeping that pressure on, trying to keep it on like we talked about. They got to stay aggressive. They can't let up, or else Winthrop is just going to take over as we see more shots going on. Reticle doesn't get the touch. Steve has to play it out. Nakari cutting for T-Neck as he knows that T-Neck would have got 50. So Sluggish tries to make a throw on the backboard to make him awkward, but Phantom gets a great touch. Steve still keeping it out and a great middle pass to Reticle. Reticle gets the flip. This might be an open net, but he leaves for boost instead of staying in. They have to stay in as the first man if they want to win. They're throwing themselves out of the place way too much and giving Winthrop so much space.
And there's what they're going to do with this space. We'll see from Tech. This one tap back down. Luckily, Reticle able to get back to it. It feels like they've been boost start for so long here, Skyline, that they changed the way that they're going to focus. You can't get boost focus in this moment. And the demos as well have just been nasty. They continue. NCW's been lucky that they haven't been able to punch one in yet on the other side. Winthrop will look to do it now. They've got Phantom. High pass, but no intended target there as they had peeled off the play. That allows them to flick out to center field, but Tech is going to punch it right back in. Another opportunity, but UNCW just giving away possession.
Once again, Phantom getting 2 demos right there back to back, something we saw from T-Neck last game. Like I said, they are still staying aggressive, and that's exactly what Winthrop are so good at. And why not keep doing it? You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's exactly what they say, and it's for a reason. Winthrop has been so successful whenever they go for these demos and throw off Wilmington. But Wilmington trying to stay strong in this offensive half, something we haven't seen the past 2 games. They're trying to keep it on by staying on that ball as first man, staying more aggressive. You see Sluggish diving there as third man, even though he's able to get the demo and clear it now for Steve to take time. But even so, they're taking too much. Like I said, they're going too slow. Winthrop is just they're playing their own pace. And Wilmington has to switch that pace to their own if they want to come back into the series, or else Winthrop is just going to stay the same. They're going to keep that pace up. They're going to stay aggressive, and it's just going to be shot after shot going on their net where they're making diving saves like Sluggish is going to have to as the third man.
Yeah, you see the clear strategy of UNCW. They're jumping out down the field early, trying to get that head start from Winthrop on the other end, see if they can't expose it on the counterattack, and that's all fine and dandy unless you aren't able to get that pass out to center, and that's what we've seen a couple of times, as now that close to being a Winthrop lead. But Reticle out to center. Steve ran out of boost, unfortunately. Sluggish is having to jump there, and nobody's back here either. You gotta be able to get a 50 and kind of calm that play down. Unfortunate circumstance for Steve there with the misread, and Tech with that 50 set up Phantom.
Yeah, Steve, all the time in the world, even when no boost, just could have waited for that to drop to his car and then played a flick or at least a 50 like you said, and instead just tries to rush it way too much. I know I said they need to go quick, but that is not what I meant. You're going quick and rushing into a play when you're not supposed to are 2 completely different things, and that's exactly how you play quick. They heard me talking, and Steve was like, okay, I'll show you how to play quick. Goes for the 50 off Phantom, and just a great follow-up from Reticle to slot that one back right.
I love that from Steve, because you made that minor miscalculation on the last sequence, but instead of getting in your own head, that was a great decision to slow down the play, knowing that Reticle will have, be able to push with the amount of time that you gave him. Great decision making, able to just stay in this play, and in this game, they've looked more organized than they have been for an extended period of time. They have come in with this strategy, and it's been working for them too, because Winthrop, whenever UNCW is taking off down the field, they're having trouble answering this one. This time around, though, they will break through. Phantom able to make it 2-1 here for Winthrop.
Just saw the 3v1 as a dive coming out, trying to, again, just going way too quick. You're diving, throwing yourself out of the play essentially because you already are beat. That is not what I mean when you need to play quick, but in Wilmington, they're still adjusting. Like you said, they're looking a lot better, but you can't be leaving 3v1 situations like that for Sluggish, who has been the main defender. Like I said, yesterday he was the main defender. He still is the main third man in this back line, but having to deal with, okay, is this guy going to shoot? Is he going to go for a bump? I mean, you have all the options in the world for Winthrop, and we might see just the mechanics come out from Phantom floating through the air, and what a musty double tap trying to get fancy with it, and he shows his mechanics on.
Insane. Just beautiful play there. And I think it answers our question, too, that we said during the timeout. It's how is Winthrop going to come out here? And they did. They reacted to what UNCW was doing. It took them a little bit longer than I was anticipating, to be honest. But even 3 minutes isn't bad. They opened the floodgates. They will miss that one, though. If you're going to find any kind of positive here for UNCW in this series, it's that They were able to score in that sequence, and they're blocking each other's goals. So you still got a minute here left to push as well, but Winthrop all smiles here regardless, I think.
I mean, you're up 2-0 series, about to go 3-up if you can hold this 2-goal lead and still keeping pressure on to where Wilmington is basically having to make diving save after diving save like the last 2 games. Obviously, you're still going to be all smiles. You're looking forward to ending this series quick so you can maybe take a break, go get some lunch, and get ready for the next series coming up, which we'll wait for after, I believe, forget who they play against next. Do you remember who they play the winner of? Is it Charlotte and...
Let's take a peak. I think it is Charlotte and the crew there. It would be up against that, let's see, there'd be 2 and 3, so it would be against winner of, UNC Charlotte's and NC State, that's right.
Okay, so realistic. I mean, I could see NC State upsetting that. They looked really good yesterday, especially at the end against UNCG. Just took them a second to get together. Charlotte looked a little bit iffy. So no matter what, for whoever if they end up winning the series, if we don't see a reverse sweep come out for Wilmington, they're going to be looking to. I mean, they've looked dominant all day. Even though it's weird to say because bracket 1 or group 1 was 3-2-1s and an 0-3, and then bracket 2 was 3-1-2s and a 3-0, like completely opposite sides of the spectrum.
Yep.
It still looks like these teams, even if they're 1-2 or 2-1, are doing really good. And because most series have been close, you'll see some sweeps here and there, but they're still keeping a good eye out and keeping their front foot forward, and that's what you want to see from these teams if they want to stay in it.
Absolutely. Winthrop came in with a mission. Even when UNCW did their best to throw a punch here. Dodge and weave, get to the next one, throw the next punch, and Phantom threw 3 of them. Hat trick, another 5 shots. Just between that and game 1 alone, that's a total of 13 shots. And he had plenty in games 2 and 2, rather. So that's so much pressure that's mounting at every given time, and everybody else got involved too. I mean, this Winthrop team strikes you from basically everywhere, and when UNCW decided that they wanted to cheat and make that their primary strategy here, Winthrop had an answer.
Yeah, Wilmington, I feel like I haven't seen more than like 5 shots in any of the games they played. They've just been so stuck on defense. Even the save total isn't showing much. They only have 5 saves, which is a good amount, but you're still allowing Winthrop to get 2 more than you, and they've been putting so much pressure on to where that blue half has just looked smothered with an orange streak on that back end of the ball. So right now, again, they have to adjust that timeout. They talked about it a little bit more. They looked more put together at the beginning of the game but started falling apart. They have to stay consistent throughout the entire game and get that pressure going, because like I said, if they don't continue getting those demos, which I still didn't see much if any from last game, they have to get aggressive, get those demos, clear Winthrop off the field, or else they're just going to take every ounce of space they get.
Got to answer fire with fire. It has got to come here and now. Tournament lives on the line already this early in the morning. Only just past 10:30. UNC Wilmington's going to be fighting for their lives, but a lot of teams do step up in that moment. Whatever it's do or die, guess what? Now's the time to perform. It's just something about human nature that knows this is the case. The reason why I think UNCW will have their best chance in this game. Now, whether or not they're going to walk away with the dub, that's a whole different story here.
I mean, they talk about Predator and Prey Bear Light, and right now you see the Predator being Winthrop and the Prey being UNC Wilmington until they can hopefully swap it around.
I agree. You got to be able to come in with the same. I feel like, they were making some progress, but now you make the minor adjustments necessary in order to hold them off, and you got to be able to track Phantom where he's at too. Obviously, you don't want to be focused on any one thing when this team can strike you from anywhere. He's been deadly here, sluggish up in the air. Looking for the far side, but again, we can be defended nicely here by the Eagles. Steve up the ramp too. Reticle. When it was below him, Phantom was able to get it out to midfield. That's exactly where you want Sluggish to be. He has been that defender you mentioned. Continues to be that menace. Now we got past Phantom. Now Sluggish does a good job to tap it away from him here from the corner. Into Wade's good patience there off the post. They do strike through. I got a little bit nervous, but the Seahawks will get the 1-0 lead here.
See, Sluggish, a great fake off that ceiling and had a wide open net, and that miss off the post from the fourth man almost allowed Phantom to get back in that save, but that zero boost rushing into it too much. Reticle playing the patient guy, just staying second, waiting for that bounce to happen, and then attacking immediately. Great play on the front end for Wilmington, as now we finally see them taking a lead once again, like we saw in, I believe it was game 2, before they ended up still losing it. So they got to try to hold on, and if anything, increase it more, because right now a 1-goal lead has looked so minute for a team like Winthrop, who's been so easily able to come back and take leads of their own by 2 or 3.
Yeah, think about the goal gap that we've seen. Winthrop's had 20 more than we've seen from UNCW. That means that their 3 minutes and 15 seconds not ticking quite as hard for them, especially in this moment where their tournament lives aren't on the line. And they look pretty relaxed, and UNCW still looks on edge. It worked for them in that moment to be able to get them the lead, but it's going to dissipate very quickly. Matter of 30 seconds, they got it right back.
And the Eagles soaring in as you see that first man just going so quick, and T-Neck trusting it already in that second man. Like you see that from teams with trust. Already so far up, ready for your teammate. Says he's challenging the ball. You're like, okay, I'm ready for you. Goes for that challenge, 50 perfectly right to him, and all he has to do is just tap in a wide open net. That is what Winthrop has done the entire day. That's what they did yesterday. Even though they went 1-2, like I said, close series against South Carolina was a loss. You lose to Clemson off some unfortunate stuff, but you still end up beating Charlotte. This is a team to be feared for this land whenever they put themselves in those situations where they trust each other and stay on the ball like they do. That first man getting so aggressive, as you see here, T-Neck just throwing it on target, making Wilmington make those diving saves with 0, something that Wilmington has to do all game long, and they just cannot reach it there. Another play from Phantom to Nakari, and that will give the lead right back to the Eagles.
Winthrop has this way that it takes them very little energy to get UNCW to jump through hoops and use a ton of pairs. And because that's the case, that's how you can see this lead flip-flop so quickly. We see another example of exactly that. And for Wilmington, super discouraging. It's been multiple times in this series. They've had the lead. It's gone away. It's just if they're able to maintain that focus for an extended period of time. But here's a good look. Unfortunately, it looks like it will be cut short. To give away possession here with Nakari. Will bully him enough for Phantom. That's never who you want to see in the air here. But Breeze set to toss it far side. But Sluggish able to make the save. But man, that was close.
Phantom has been pulling out all the stops with his mechanics today. Just playing so insanely well. And not only that, you got to feel for the Seahawks. A shot going on, but a great save from Phantom once again, being the man of the hour for Winthrop. As a shot going on, and Reticle off the crossbar. Sluggish still keeping pressure on, but not able to get the reach. And with only a little over a minute and a half remaining, we might see the tournament hopes and dreams of Wilmington go down the drain, and they have to go all the way back down to the beach where they get to enjoy the sand and the ocean and some colder weather. Winthrop gets another goal here to put it in the coffin, but Reticle tries to take it right back. The 1v1 situation goes for the double. The angle can't come through. It's the second man there. No, Phantom gets a great touch out, or it was actually Nakari, excuse me, able to get that touch out, but still the pressure looming for Wilmington as they try to get this one back.
Reticle made a great read here. Now he's going to toss it towards the net, but that one shut down from Phantom. Didn't need a whole lot of boost in the tank. And look at that clean touch from Nakari. Get a fake glow. Sluggish was there. Steve took a shot, easily handled there from Phantom. Need to be able to generate some grade A chances. Right now you have shots from Wilmington. You just need to see one go in. That's it, but they're in trouble right now. Phantom again trying to get there, but Sluggish able to shut the door.
A great cut, and Wilmington look so good, but a shot going over, and Winthrop, the chances to end this game early, there's come so plentiful, but none are going through. Everything is off the crossbar and the post. No boost for Wilmington. Steve is awkward, and Nakari possibly puts the dagger of his blade through the hearts of the Seahawks.
There is nothing Wilmington can do. Wilmington was just it. They were handcuffed in that situation, just trying to dive back and forth, make boostless saves, and they did it for a little bit, but it's only going to last just so long when Winthrop was just on the doorstep, ready for it. And they are looking to close out by a sweep. 30 seconds left here. Wilmington needs one quick. But all their hopes and dreams in every situation they've had good looks have been denied by the Eagles, who now are in marching form here to close out this series. Looking good. They're staying on the offensive side of the ball. All signs point to the Eagles, in which they will say business as usual. A great series from the number 2 seed. We saw them do great yesterday. They may have had some slip-ups, but not in the first round. They look sharp from the get-go. Even when UNCW tried to adjust, Winthrop will complete the sweep and move on.
Now, Winthrop just looks so good. I mean, you gotta give it to the whole entire team, and specifically Phantom. Phantom, I mean, the mechanics, he was so confident. You could tell that he was ready for today. He wants to make an impression on all these teams. He wants to put fear in the eyes of the hearts of everyone else at here, whether it's Charlotte, South Carolina. He says, I don't care who you are, bring them to me. And then T-Neck also bulldozing his way through everyone. I mean, this team, they look so well put together. You can tell that their main roster with Tico, Percy, and Garrett G, even if they've helped them or not, it looks like they have, because they basically look like them themselves. They have reincarnated into their main team, and they are taking on every opponent one by one.
It's been a while since I've seen a team be able to do that here in C3, to be able to take your opponent, it almost looked like they were kind of playing with their food at the tail end there. Whenever they had them backed in the corner, and there was just nothing you can do. They're swinging haymakers, and UNCW is diving left and right, doing a good job to try to stay alive, but that's all they can manage, unfortunately for them. Their tournament lives will be cut short here with a 4-0, and but I mean, they gave it their all. They had a decent day number 1, so it's something that you can kind of build on. UNCW, their goal at this season, obviously you want to make land and then perform a little bit better than that, but just making land is a good step in the right direction to develop something special at UNCW, even though they did lose and they will be going home.
Yeah, I mean, top 8 is nothing to scoff at
Yeah.
whatsoever. Being able to make it here into NC State and Raleigh, North Carolina. And speaking of, again, a big shout out to our sponsor, Visit Raleigh. If you're ever looking to come to North Carolina, then Raleigh, obviously the capital here. And we talked about the sports yesterday, and I mean, you can never get enough of the sports here, obviously with the Hurricanes. And just so beautiful. I love it over here. I've loved North Carolina my entire life. I've lived here my entire life, lived about an hour from Raleigh, and I always come here because I have friends that live in the area, gone to NC State, and again, NC State, beautiful campus, amazing esports lab. Shout out to them. So if you're ever thinking about visiting North Carolina and especially visiting Raleigh, visit Raleigh.com. That is visitraleigh.com, and that will give you all the information you need to have to if you are planning on coming over here.
Home away from home, and not possible without it as well. C3 very thankful as C3 Esports League being able to manage this land, and like you said, NC State with the hands that they have and working close with them. Visit Raleigh has been great, and NC State, I mean, their staff members also here since the get-go for setup, everything that you need has been great here. So big shout out and thank you to NC State and Visit Raleigh. Well, we're not done again here on the B stream. We still have some quarterfinals matchups cooking for you, so keep it parked right here in the meantime as we will take a quick break. Right back with you.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Carolina Collegiate Clash Fall 2025 Championship B stream. Here we have UNC Asheville going up against the USC Gamecocks. I'm joined by the UNCW coach, Hot Dog. How you feeling, dude?
Nate, I'm feeling great. I'm excited for a great series of Rocket League that we're about to watch here. How are you?
You know, I'm a little sad y'all lost. So
You know, at the end of the day, it's night. No, we're just gonna get better from here.
That's fair enough. You know, I'm wishing you the best in that career. I'm excited. You know, Asheville, they're an interesting team. USC was currently ranked 28th in the nation according to the colleague poll. So I feel like we know how this one's going to go, but hopefully Asheville's just going to have fun with it like I know they like to do. So
never know. Give me Asheville game 1.
Asheville, I mean,
Give me
SJT
Asheville
did.
game 1.
They did say they were a bro school, so they might let them get one. So you never know. I have a feeling we're going to start seeing some clips come out in this. Sadly, I've got that feeling.
I mean, there's a good chance. I mean, SJT and Turnip, great players, but then you have a player like Og who has been bubble for a little while, and not only that, but he is very mechanical. So we could see some fireworks in this series for sure.
Are we going to see a musty double tap, though?
I think we might see a triple flip reset before a musty double.
Oh, really? No comment on that one. As we get into this one, as we kick things off, Asheville forcing this one off to the sidewall here for Og to take control as he goes off the ceiling, looking for a touch, blocked away by Buttercup. One of the amazing card design I saw right there, but SJT looking a little awkward, gets the touch out to Turnip, and now Turnip is there to take control. Gets it over one, but I am Kuso not able to collect that one, but he does get the rebound touch as this one's fired into the midfield. Buttercup looking for the shot. SJT there for the save. UNC Asheville coming out very strong and right out of the gates applying some pressure, but I feel like USC is just going to turn that around pretty quickly.
Asheville need to get this out of their defensive half. They're already getting pressured by the USC offense just 40 seconds into the game as Og pins this one back to the middle. Monster fakes into his teammate, and SJT's going to dribble this towards an open net with no boost. Does he get there? No! SJT strikes first.
Absolute catastrophe for the Asheville boys as they remove themselves from the play, and this one is a wide open net for the Gamecocks. Honestly, what do we expect from Asheville? Nothing better than that.
I don't know, man.
As this one now fires up to the side wall for Turnip off the ceiling to take control. Gets a great first touch, looks for one more, but blocked away by Kuso. And now McMonster drops it down to his teammate, but Og is there to collect it. This one goes off the backboard. SJT, or Turnip there to try and get a shot, but Kuso's there to control it. Now SJT there to collect it, trying to make sure he does not uphold what he said on the post interview and give them that one game. Og there to send it back mid. Looks for one more, no, can't get it. Buttercup, a pinch out off the sidewall from Turnip. As this one's an open net opportunity as Asheville's looking awkward on the back wall. Kuso with a great save, but a double commit comes out, but McMonster is there to take control. But USC upping the onslaught as Asheville is looking ever so awkward as this one could dribble in, but Kuso there to get it off the goal line and give his team some breathing room.
Absolute chaos for UNC Asheville right now as they are struggling on all aspects of defense, but can you blame them? Look at this offensive play from South Carolina as SJT sends the hammer to Og, who bangs it down 2-0 USC.
McMonster trying to play the floating game there in the middle, but he just floated a little too low as that pass came out great straight to Og to take control. Those are the type of plays USC has been doing all season long, and they have been very aggressive about it. And right now, I expected a higher scoreline, but, you know, we've still got 3 minutes left of the game, so maybe it'll start getting racked up towards the end of the game. USC might start trying to troll a little bit, so I am a little worried about that one. But as this one, a scoring opportunity blocked away by Og. SJT looking for Og in the midfield, but a missed touch from McMonster, and now USC goes up 3-0 with just under 3 minutes left on the clock. Asheville not doing too well right now.
They got to wake up. You know, their director is their coach, I believe, and he has to get into them at the end of this game and just let them know that they got to wake up. This is the #1 seed. They're the 8th seed, but miracles happen in Rocket League. And speaking of a miracle, there might be an open net right now as SJT is awkward. McMonster looking to dribble this one. Buttercup 50s it. It's in the middle. No one's home. SJT backwards. What's going on here, Nate Dogg?
I don't know. A scoring opportunity missed again from Asheville as this one now pops off the ceiling. A scoring chance here could arise, but SJT gets bumped out of the play. As now this one is forced to the sidewall. Turnip gets one more touch, but a great touch from Buttercup nonetheless. But Og is there to control it back to Turnip. Looks for one more, a scoring chance as he gets the reset. An awkward pop-up as he's not able to follow it, but SJT is there to collect. Now this one's going to go firing into the midfield, but McMonster there to send it back into the Gamecock half. Turnip looking to control it, looks for a touch off the sidewall, but an awkward one right into Kuso's hands. As now Og clears this one out. It could be a missed opportunity as McMonster's there for the save. Buttercup with an even better save, but a scoring chance here, but Kuso gets back in time, and now Turnip trying to find a play to make happen here. And right now USC kind of just peppering the net, looking for one to sneak through as they're just trying to get those 3-man passing plays going, but they just can't find that connection at the moment.
I agree. They really seem to be testing the top of that lid, poking it ever so slightly with each touch. As Og gets bumped by Turnip here, we're going to see some more pressure from USC as Og waits back as third man, bangs this up. Buttercup's up, but he can't get the touch. Og with the slow touch, that's BM. What a shot from Og to make it 4-0 Gamecocks.
I mean, did we expect anything less? I feel like, you know, the underdog story could be here for the Bulldogs, but right now the Gamecocks are just proving to be a little too big of a task for them.
Someone in the Proteus?
Maybe? Who are we looking at? Oh my god, he is! Now McMonster gets blocked away by Og. Honestly, I think Asheville at this point, they're just having fun with the match. They're just trying to see what they can do. I think they knew the task was might have been chalked from the start, as I think we see all kinds of minivans. At a scoring opportunity, blocked away off that right side wall. Asheville getting loud and very depressed with that missed chance. As this one's forced out to the sidewall, and now Buttercup there to take control, but not able to get that touch as he just gives that one away. What is happening on that side wall as everybody is just missing the touch they need to connect on. Og trying to do it himself, gets it off the backboard, but Buttercup there to shut it down.
SJT taking his time. Og's off the ceiling. Can't quite get it as McMonster is going to put this one safely into the corner. Kuso dribbling, cut off by Turnip. Buttercup dribbling, cut off by his teammate McMonster, but it's going to end up in the USC defensive half. SJT taking the boost, but deferring to Og, who gets it over one. Left in the midfield, Buttercup, pop. Could we see an air dribble here? Past midfield, but it's just Buttercup. He takes a flip reset. Og, Kuso, Og, Turnip.
Nobody in the
Look at
field.
SJT shot. Goal number 5 for the Gamecocks. Absolute shambles from the offense of UNC Asheville. Where did they go?
Dude, I think that was a 6-man passing play if I've ever seen one, because that one really just kind of laid into the Gamecocks' hands. You know, the pass from Kuso to the opposing team to the defense, as some might say. And USC was just there to take control. I don't know what we really saw at the end of that one with all three of them just kind of flopping around like fish around the ball. But, you know, Asheville, they're going to try and find one to go for the road, but Ogg says not today. We're not going to give you anything. As he goes for the reset, gets one more, a shot opportunity, as this one's now floating. Kuso tries to get the stop there. Now Asheville trying to get one, but Mac Monster not having the dribbling skills that he needed for that one, as that one drops down. USC taking game 1 in this best of 7. I think we're in for a long BO7, and I don't think it's because of the series score.
You know, we heard Asheville getting a little loud there, and that was one of my favorite things when we played them yesterday. They will tell you, and you will hear them screaming and begging for mercy. So maybe USC will hear their cries, and maybe this goes 7, Nate. I'm telling you, I'm with the Bro School. Give me the Bulldogs.
Whatever you say, buddy. You know, I think that they are definitely the Bro School. Everyone here loves Asheville. They're a splendid time to be around, a great opponent to play against. Honestly, I think their strategy is they try and catch the opponent off guard with their trolliness and their trolley comms. And, you know, sometimes it works. I mean, they took a game off of UNCW yesterday, a tragic loss there for them, and I kind of really signaled the loss into today. As maybe they can do the same against USC here. Maybe they can finally take a game and get that momentum turned around.
It would be really good for them. It might rattle USC, like you said. And I mean, hey, you never know. The 8 seed takes the 1 seed's bracket. Cinderella stories happen in sports every day.
I think if Asheville takes this one, I think Clemson gets a free run to the finals. With their win over UNCG, as this one gets kicked off, and now Ogg looking for one more, tries to get a touchdown, gets the reset, no, but he just likes to drop it low. SJT there to put it on, but a huge save from Buttercup as USC coming out strong already. A bump on the backboard. Mac Monster forced to make an awkward touch, but just shut down by Ogg as this passes into the midfield, but no boost in the tank. Does get the touch, but this goes into the Gamecock half. Now Kuso, a little bit of an awkward touch, but Turnip is there to control it. Mac Monster not fast enough in aerial. Might need to learn that as a flip reset. Musty comes out, and that one just doesn't connect. And now USC once again putting the pressure on in Asheville's half.
Absolutely, Nate Dogg. USC has just been absolutely melting this Asheville defense. Every time they get boost, they're right back at 0. Speaking of 0, here comes Kuso on 0, 50ing Ogg. It's going to find itself in the midfield. Buttercup and McMonster both on the back wall. Turnip backflips. SJT's waiting. Buttercup gets bumped by Turnip. SJT takes a backward shot, looking for the double flip reset. Pancake shot. Ogg, where you at? Dead. Ogg demoed Kuso, actually. That's on me, Nate Dogg.
You know, in the famous words of somebody, I didn't want the ball, I wanted him.
I know that guy.
They definitely demonstrated right there. Ogg just wanted to make a statement on that demo, as this one is 50 down to the side wall, into the corner, and popped away. Now Turnip, they're looking for a pass midfield to SJT. SJT with a huge whiff. I don't know what he's doing. We saw that a lot yesterday in that game against Winthrop. And now Asheville could find a chance here. SJT trying to make up for it, but no power on that one. SJT trying to pre-jump this one up in the air, looks for a touchdown to Ogg off the back wall. A great shot, but a huge save from Buttercup as he stays his team away from getting absolutely clipped on. That was almost a dangerous situation to be in.
Hey, I don't know if you noticed, but we are 2 minutes into this game, and it's still a 0-0 scoreline. I'm telling you, the Bulldogs just get dunked because I'm caster cursing them. Never mind. 1-0 USC. Beautiful air dribble from SJT.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's a devastating goal right there. So I think that might be the catalyst for USC. Or yeah, I think they're just gonna start walking away. I think we're starting to see a lot of trolley clips coming out from USC right now, and it's just not working out in favor for Asheville. I mean, when they start doing that, you got to find a way to capitalize. They're definitely leaving gaps that can be exploited when they start doing that. You gotta have to find a way to really turn that around, as Asheville gives that one right back into the hands of SJT, but Buttercup getting boost, elects to try and leave it. Kuso making up for it, but a double commit, possibly a communication error on the Bulldogs side, and now Turnip. Drop down shot as a huge save comes out from Kuso, and Asheville stays alive. USC trying to keep the onslaught going, But with a 1-goal differential, they have a chance to come back.
They have all the chance in the world as Buttercup bumps Og. Og stays in front of this with 0 boost. He's going to try to get this to the midfield. Good flick, good boost grab. McMonster cuts it off in the middle. Turnip. Buttercup with a fake of the year, but it's just wide, right side of the post. SJT takes this one. Turnip on 0 boost. Og awkward, but he's able to control this one. Bump. McMonster's got this one in the middle. Turnip with a great read, though, as Og sends this one back into the UNC Asheville half. Buttercup sends it right back into the side of the Gamecocks, but Turnip rips a shot. It's on McMonster with a beautiful save.
Og with less than anything in the tank, trying to find something out here. SJT trying to get one more. Looks for the reset, doesn't get it. No, he does, and it goes absolutely nothing with it. Turnip trying to get something set up for his teammate, as this could be it. Kuso passing it behind to SJT. A scramble, but a huge demo from Turnip, as now Kuso loses all of his momentum. Buttercup trying to get one, and then a huge miss from McMonster. Yeah, don't miss those.
You absolutely cannot miss those. Just like that, right there, SJT. The ball is just left in the midfield, and Og rips it off to go up 2-0 USC. Right now, USC is just absolutely turtling Asheville. You hate to see it. They have a really good defensive line when they're in their goal line, but they have to get there first. Right now, USC is just outpacing them.
I mean, I think they're doing more than outpacing them. I think they're out-making them, out-coordinating them, and honestly, that's what we like to see from a top 28 team in the nation. As another one drops down, SJT extending into a 3-goal lead. I'm starting to wonder if Asheville's even going to get that one game that SJT promised them. It's not looking like it. I was hoping to see it early on because, because like here's a little bit of a vote of confidence. But, yeah, no, right now it's just not looking good for the Bulldogs.
They need, like we said last game, they need to wake up, and they need to wake up fast. This one's going to find itself in the middle for Turnip. SJT pre-jump, but it's too late because it finds the back of the net. 4-0, 1:11 on the clock. USC. Are they the Titan? Are they the Titan in C3 right now?
I think that that is yet to be seen in the semifinals. So I think that'll be a very interesting playout, because if they go this one, they go through Clemson. I feel like that's going to be a pretty straightforward one, considering they swept them yesterday in a pretty easy fashion. But then they'll have to face the winner of Winthrop or either Charlotte or NC State. I'm not even going to comment on it. I mean, at this point, it's 5-0, minute left. USC, at what point do we just go next?
There's no 4-foot buttons at a land, Nate Dogg, unfortunately. However, we got to go back to the conversation we were having, I feel. How can people be sleeping on the 3-time C3 LAN esports champions, UNC Charlotte?
Well, it's yet to be seen what they're looking like today, but based off of that performance yesterday, I mean, they devastating loss to USC and Winthrop, their two biggest opponents in C3. I'm just gonna make a comment. That was disgusting.
It's a little rude.
McMonster.
How do you do?
Where are you going? But back to the topic again. I think if Charlotte doesn't show what we know them to do, it's going to be a very devastating situation for them. I think they're going to I think they can make it to third place. If they lose to NC State, then they really have fallen from the highs that they were at the previous 3 tournaments. But right now, Winthrop, USC, if it goes like yesterday, I think they're the clear top 2.
Based off of yesterday's results, I think I do agree with you, but there's 18 seconds left in this match, Nate Dogg. Where did the time go?
Well, I can tell you right now, it's called USC scoring while we were yapping about the bracket, because that's where that time went. Because I mean, 6-0, 3 seconds left. At what point do we just be like, I mean, the game's over. Let's be, the game's over. But no, let's have a quick chat about Asheville. What do you think Asheville needs to do to really overcome this mountain in front of them?
If I was to dissect Asheville's play right now, it really just feels like their rotation is super disconnected. They're not moving as a unit. They're all just kind of buzzing around like a bunch of flies, looking for an opening, and they're doing a little bit of what I call ball chasing with their eyes. They're coming into the play too fast, too late, just looking at the ball, not looking where USC is on the field or where their teammates are on the field. That's putting them at a super big disconnect. So they've got to find a way to get some type of rotation, try to get some of the balls in the midfield away from the Gamecocks and just start shooting goals. I mean, that game right there, they didn't shoot a single shot.
Oh my, I didn't even realize that. They have no save. So yeah, I think that one was definitely in the hands of dude Kuso with the chat saying we'll use 2% of our power, I guess. Been using 0.0. Dude, what is this game right now? Asheville looking like they're in so good spirits. Hopefully our league ops told them to do what their strategy was against Wilmington, just yell at everything. I hopefully they can turn it around. I want to see something from them, but 8 seed against the 1 seed. I think out of all the 8 teams here, they were substantially on the lower end of the power scale. And that's
not in our hearts.
Not in their hearts. No, they have the most energy out of everybody
Absolutely.
here. But that's all you got. It's not really much you can do.
I mean, you can take the dog out of the fight, but you can't take the fight out of the dog. Nate Dog.
All right, hot dog.
Dog. Hog. Dribbling this on the sidewall. 14 seconds in. Go ahead.
Man thinks he's cooking over here. But a drop down coming out now. Kuso there to control it, but Turnip there to take control of this one. Now Kuso trying to find a way to rotate out of this one as a pass comes off the backboard. Og there to get a pinch out, looking for one more. Gets a great touch, but no shot on target. Turnip passing it to Kuso, maybe trying to give that Bro School their one win that they promised them. But Og with a huge clear down. SJT cherry picking, but once again whiffing. Og there to get the free open net. Great opportunity and a great clear from Og. What are your comments there, Hot Dog?
I didn't see a goal there. It's still 0-0.
You don't count that?
No.
All right, I mean,
They weren't ready. The Bulldogs still have a 0-0 score line here. If they can just score one, this game will be tied 1-0 Gamecocks. 4:10 on the clock. Turnip dribbling in the midfield past SJT. Og's there. Pinch attempt. It's still going to find the back of the net after Og bumps his own teammate.
I'm just going to say score still 0-0. And hey, that's the mindset everybody needs to have when playing Rocket League. No matter what the scoreboard is, it is 0-0. You're playing in overtime. You want to play every situation like you're in overtime. And in this situation right now, Asheville, they got to find a way. Maybe they just haven't activated their 2% power yet that they were talking about. Because right now it's definitely not showing that. It is not showing it at all. As Turnip is there to try and pop this one up in the midfield. Og there to control it, gets the reset, tries to get one more, goes for the musty, gets it, but it's no power as a 50 comes out and a pass back. Turnip is there to take control. SJT leaving it for Turnip at a 50 out into the midfield. Og looking for a pre-flip or pre-jump. SJT at the team pinch, can't connect on it as Asheville once again almost gets clipped on, but a great pass to Buttercup straight into the hands of Turnip as we are passing once again to the defense.
SJT popped the McMonster. Here's a shot from Asheville. It's there. It's a goal. Buttercup scores the first goal for UNC Asheville.
Dude, that might be their first one up. That is their first one of the series. You can hear Kuso saying GG. He's pre-firing the GG on this one. Maybe that's the one goal they needed to turn this one around to see if USC can respond as Og takes this one up to the heavens, trying to get the reset, looks for one more, a pop down, and now you can hear some shouting in here as these matches are kicking off. SJT there to drop it down to Og and look for a quick shot on net. Could be on target, no, off that left side post. Try there to put it in. Buttercup not able to get there. USC finds the response.
There's still 3 minutes in this game, Nate. There's time for these Asheville Bulldogs to use 1% more of their power, make this a 3-2 game, and come back in this series.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, they definitely could. It was a very interesting situation to be in. Some might say it was lucky for Asheville, but all they got to do at this point with USC trying to clip, you just got to force a favorable ball, and then really just kind of take control of it. And that is not what you want to do on that goal line. That is the complete opposite of what I just said, as USC extends their lead by 3.
Yeah, it's just an unfortunate mechanical malfunction from McMonster there. He goes right over top of the ball, hits it kind of with the back end, and it pops it right in front of his net. Nobody's there to save the ball. We're back to kick off one more time as Buttercup, Og, SJT, Turnip plant some ping pong in the midfield here as Turnip sends this one back. Kuso on this one now. SJT looking to slow the play down, but Buttercup says no thank you. We're going back the other way. McMonster trying to get this one middle. Buttercup does. Kuso, where you at? Pass middle. McMonster gets demoed by Turnip. USC takes this one back into the Asheville side.
This one now floating up into a dangerous position, blocked away by Buttercup. Now Turnip looking for one more, cannot follow it as Kuso tries to get a quick shot on net, blocked away by SJT. It was a great touchdown to Og for Turnip to eventually follow it up. Looks for the pinch, can't get it. Buttercup with a huge pass straight to USC, but this one's fired across the field. Og trying to get the read, doesn't get the best touch, but he does able to recover it. McMonster there to take control, gets it past his own teammate. There's this one now floating in front of the net. Turnip there to take control of it. Looks for the reset, leaves it for SJT. A dangerous position to be in, but Buttercup does get the touch and does get the save. As now Buttercup looking for one more. Can't follow up on it. His teams are they're rule one in the net, but they do break it. That might be the curse that cost them this entire series.
You can't break rule one. Not even against your own teammate. Buttercup showing some air dribbling style right now. Looks for the flipper set, gets it, pass to Turnip. Og, pass to SJT. Shot. Kuzo's in trouble. SJT can't quite get back to this as he hit it just a little too far. Og dribbling with zero. Buttercup fake. Og, there's so much happening with these two teams that I'm almost tripping up on my words. As Turnip takes this one to the skies. Flip reset. Leaves it for Og. Og going for a double. It's off the ceiling. Dunk from Turnip, save from Kuso. What a save on the goal line from the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that was a great play there from the Bulldogs, although right now with USC in this onslaught, it looks like it might be in vain as Og is there to put it back in to bring it to a 4-goal lead. Right now, Asheville is in shambles. Hopefully their spirits are still high because this series isn't over yet. Some changes they need to make right now is honestly just quality of touches. They just got to stop giving them the ball because USC is just taking full advantage of the space that they are giving them.
They really got to control this ball as SJT's backwards looking to dribble, but he gets demoed by McMonster. Turnip pops this one up. Og waiting patiently for Buttercup to give him the ball, and he does as Og challenges quickly. Turnip sends it to the middle. Og doesn't turn. SJT's there though. Kuso controlling the ball a little bit, looking to get an air dribble going. Can he get it past Og? He cannot as Og sends this one to mid. Kuso back to the midfield to himself. 50 ball. SJT 50 ball. Kuso open net. Knocked away by Og.
That was a great touch from Og there, kind of getting a clear pass back to his teammate for them to take control of that play. That was a very dangerous position to be in with all three of them committed up the field a little bit. A wide open opportunity missed by Asheville. But with 15 seconds left, it's looking like Asheville really stands no chance in this series as every single mistake they have been making, it's just been going in against their favor. But nonetheless, a great save on the goal line. Might be in vain though, as this one could be it. A huge demo as Asheville gets their second goal here in Game 3.
That's necessary. That's a momentum gainer if I've ever seen one. They scored two goals in this match, Nate Dogg. They didn't even have a single shot last game.
I mean, they're inching their way back. They're climbing. They're climbing their way back up. They could have an opportunity to turn this one around. I mean, just looking at the stats here, they actually had shots on the board this time. Forced 2 saves from USC. So, I mean, that's definitely a situation that's going to help their cause. And really, they just got to keep upping that pressure and just kind of play a little bit more of a controlled Rocket League.
I agree, and that they themselves are actually playing pretty good defensively. As we can see here, USC took 10 shots on goal, and Buttercup and Kuso had 3 and 2, making 5 saves. That means USC slotted every opportunity that they had unless it was saved. So Asheville is really playing well defensively. They just got to ramp that offense up. There's a chance.
Yeah, I definitely think so. One of the big things for Asheville right now is they just need to find a way to, like we were saying, they need to, honestly, they need to stop double committing. That's one of the big ones. And honestly, maybe the car designs might need to change a little bit. just conform to society here. Play with the Octane, play with the Phoenix, see what happens, you know.
Even the Dominus.
Yeah, even the Dominus at this point. Let's not play the Proteus. But hey, you know, we're here to have fun today, so maybe they can turn it around, find those gaps, better touches, control the pace. Don't play USC speed. You got to make them play yours.
Absolutely. There's still 4 available games in this series, should the Bulldogs need them. One win here honestly solidifies the champion of this series, and if it's the Bulldogs, give me the reverse. Give me the reverse.
The real question is will the Bulldogs use their timeout?
They should have.
They should have.
They should have. It's too late. We're at kickoff, Nate.
Well, I mean, this isn't match point. They might, oh wait, this is match point.
This is
Yeah.
match point.
Yeah, GG's. In the words of Kuzo, last game, GG, pre-firing it as a huge miss comes out from SJT, but a great little stutter as Asheville, you can hear it in the comms out loud that they were very upset about that bump. As this one, a great shot, and Og will be there to put it in. Asheville losing sight of the spirit and hope that they brought into game one.
Turnip's in the battle bus.
Wait, is he? Dude, I mean, he's here to go to war. What can you
That's what
say?
I'm saying. I was going to say the same thing. You took the words right out of my mouth. And he has lava on the decal of his Fortnite battle bus. Shout out to Epic Games as USC is on fire. Likewise with his decal.
It's just a matter of time before that volcano erupts, and really this scoreline just starts skyrocketing into the heavens. As now Og there to put it back, but a huge save from Kuso, but a mistouch from Turnip as he's not able to get there, but SJT there to pass it back, and a mistouch from both parties as this one's just rolling out in the middle of the field. McMaster electing to go for boost and giving up a wide open net. I think Browood does not have ball cam on right there.
No, he's definitely got his monitor off or something. That ball was free.
Awkward silence at number one. As, I mean, don't go for boost. That's the only thing you can say right there.
Boost over ball, Nate.
Oh, wait, who? Oh, that was the other game. Oh, it didn't matter.
That was our game, dude. It's the Bulldogs.
Dude, they're coming out. They're howling. Oh, wait, that's a different dog.
Bulldogs are definitely off the leash as they almost tie this game up. It's 2-1. There's only a minute off the clock, Nate Dogg. Turnip looking to get this one mid, looking for some fireworks in the battle bus. The double! He's got it. Turnip's clipped. Turnip is clipped, Nate Dogg.
Dude, someone clip it and send it to the Fortnite creators. As that is what we want to see in the battle bus. That's what everyone likes to see from Epic Games. That is a great car design, and honestly, I'm in love with it. And he's showcasing it right there. What are we staring at?
Well, I mean, is that the Fire God? Is the Fire God decal? We're gonna have to ask him. Gotta get the interview with him.
All right, well, I'll make that happen. I'll make that happen.
Yeah.
You can talk to him.
I mean, we'll figure something out, dude. Oh, 50 and Kuzo in the middle. McMonster bumping Buttercup. There's an open South Carolina net, but none of the Asheville players have boost. Turnip on the sidewall looking to get this one back mid. He does. He's not taking a shot. He's clearing the backboard. Og takes it to the sky looking for SJT or a shot of his own. Kuso, zero boost dribbling. SJT playing patiently up to the skies off the ceiling. Turnip elects to fake. Buttercup passes this one right back to the Gamecock offense.
I think every time we've seen all these Asheville players, their boost is like almost non-existent. But he does get the reset with the one time he had a full tank, and he does absolutely nothing with it. As that one goes right back into the hands of USC. Now Og not able to make any type of play with that one as fired into the corner. A scoring opportunity could present itself. Og doesn't get the touch, but SJT able to get there in time. It was looking like they might not get their bro school game, as USC is just not unrelentless with how this one is going.
And you know, honestly, Nate, for USC, you've got to be thinking, can they get a relock factor? Yes, they are scoring multiple goals, and yes, they're getting clips, but how does a series like this affect you going into the Clemson game?
I mean, I feel like if you want my honest opinion, and this is no shame to anybody, I feel like USC is just like, this is like a just win and sweep it under the rug type of game and move on with their life. Because, I mean,
that is fair, but we're seeing a completely different game speed. They're kind of able to inflict their will on the Bulldogs, unfortunately, and Clemson's not a team that's going to roll over and just allow you to outpace them, as that's their game plan as well.
I mean, with this game being the last one before the lunch break, I'm pretty sure that
oh, that'll be good.
Yeah, they got like an hour to like kind of get Ward back up to speed and kind of go into play Clemson. So then, I think Clemson gets swept, if I'm being honest. I would love to see a Game 5, but I think they get swept and end up having to fight for third place as SJT gets a pop-up, a doink from Og over to Turnip, but Kuso chasing this man down like he's got his name on a ticket or something. I don't know. I lost the word.
On the death note?
He's
got a bounty on him.
There you go, bounty. That's the word I was looking for. As now this one is dropped down into the field. A minute 50 left. At what point does USC just like, let's just run out the clock and go next? We're hungry and want pizza.
I think that's what we're seeing currently, Nate Dogg. I can't tell you the last time I saw Og touch the ball. Turnip looking to air dribble, clip in the battle bus once more for us.
Where's
Can't
the pogo?
quite get it. I don't think he had the flip reset. I think the pogo attempt was there as Og just got deleted by Kuso. It's an own goal. That's going to be a mental terror for the Gamecocks.
If you say so. I think they will be totally fine, but honestly, that was a dude. Honestly, Buttercup needs to clip that and save that replay file. And honestly, just take that one moment of him scoring on Og and post it in the 6-man server. That's all we need to see, and I think that was all. That's the win from Cashville, here as some people like to call them.
I mean, it is Cashville. Let's see what Kuso can do here as the ball is left floating. He passes in midfield, keeps it himself. He's looking for an air dribble attempt here. He's got 32 boost in the tank. Air roll, tap to Turnip, backflip. This one's gonna find itself safely in the Gamecock corner. SJT looking for Og, but Og's not home. Og deleted again by Kuso. This might be the game plan that works for them. Nate, what's happening?
I think Asheville is taking advantage of the bumps and demos, but you know, with mistakes like that, I think they just buckle overall. And this one, it's on the goal line, a difficult save, and Asheville stays alive. As this one, stays alive as a stretch. They are down by 3. And right now, USC is just putting the onslaught on them right now. As you can hear a lot of screaming in the back of the arena that we are in. And Buttercup looks for a take up the side wall, looking for one more. Trying to get one. It could be an open net. No, Og gets back in time as once again Cashville with no boost in the tank. But a pop over to Turnip. A great touch to the back wall for them to take control of. And now Turnip just a reset. Looking for one more, but a shutdown. And with 8 seconds left, Cashville was lied to as USC will put the nail in the coffin and call this one. You don't get anything even if you're a bro school.
You know, sometimes business is business, and regardless of the friendships, you have to bring that Kobe Bryant mentality of I do not have friends, I don't have bros on the court or on the pitch. Yeah, rest in peace, Kobe.
4 seconds left. I mean, right now there's a lot of there's a lot of mistakes just on Asheville's part. I think it's evident as an own goal comes out. No better way to end it from UNC Cashville, and that will conclude their Carolina Collegiate Clash Fall 2025 Championship run. Had a great run yesterday, and well, did they win yesterday?
Not a single time. One game, maybe 2. I know they took one off of us.
So, I mean, hey, they may have not won a series all weekend long, but they came and they brought the spirit and they really showcased what they could. They are in smiles over there as UNC Cashville will unfortunately be eliminated from this tournament alongside UNC Wilmington. Now, the real talk here is, what are your expectations now for the lower half?
For the lower half, so what's left in the lower half?
So we got Charlotte.
UNCG just got sent home.
UNCG just got sent home.
So the lower half is Charlotte, NC State.
Yeah, right now. So it'll most likely be Winthrop Charlotte rematch.
Winthrop Charlotte rematch, and I've said this to my team yesterday. Charlotte is not a team that you want to see go 1-2 in groups. We've talked about them being the 3 times champions of this land. I don't believe they put forth their best foot yesterday, and I think even if there is a rematch, if you're Winthrop, you have to channel whatever they had in that series against USC because Charlotte is going to be firing on all cylinders. I think Charlotte could take the lowers of this bracket not only with ease, but dominantly.
Yeah, I definitely would agree. Producer, Yogurt. Do we do post games on this one? You want to talk to Turnip?
I can.
All right, dude. Well, in that case, we will see about doing a post-game interview with USC. If you don't want to watch the post-game interview, be sure to go over to C3 Esports League on Twitch, as they are currently broadcasting the UNC Charlotte versus NC State game, which I hear is getting very rowdy. So we will catch you all then.
Welcome back, C3 fans. I am here with Turnip of the South Carolina Gamecocks. What a showing you guys just had. How are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. I mean, we went into that one knowing we were going to win that series, but we had a lot of fun, just able to, get rid of the nerves and, just get our first win, just have it on the board.
Okay, so it sounds like you guys were already looking ahead. I think you're watching kind of who you have a chance to play. Do you have any game plans that you guys are keeping for maybe Charlotte or NC State or anyone, Winthrop?
I think we'll see.
We'll see. Okay, we're gonna
won't reveal
keep
it right now.
No, I like that. I like that. We also saw that you were in the battle bus, Turnip, and we saw some of the best clips you've had this weekend. Talk us through what was going through your head while you were clipping with the Epic Games mobile.
We wanted to run fun cars in our last game. I figured it was game 4. We had the confidence going into it, so I went into the battle bus. Couldn't quite get all my touches, but had a couple plays. So.
Right. Well, you played awesome, man. Congratulations to you guys.
Appreciate
Is there
it.
anyone you would like to shout out while you were here?
I just shout out my teammates. They've been a really big part of my growth as a player, so giving me more confidence in my plays, and I think with that we can go and win today.
Sweet. Well, we look forward to seeing more of you guys. We're going to take a quick break, so we'll be back in about an hour and a half. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Tired of waiting, lost while I'm sitting at home. Dream of a new destination, lust for something unknown. Oh, you better leave it alone. And I'd rather get up and go. How long can I lie around waiting for it? Sometimes you gotta walk out the door. No limits, no ceiling, no ground. No pressure gonna hold me down. No stopping till I break every rule. No limits to what I can do. Nowhere is too far away. No border gonna stand in my way. No wall that I can't break through. No limits to what I can do.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Sports NC State stream. We're bringing you more C3 action today. Today I'm with Bearlight. We had our first cast on the A stream just an hour or so ago, and now we're bringing that same action and energy to you on the B stream. Bearlight, how you feeling?
Doing great, man. Semifinals here at the C3, again, Fall 2025 Championship event is something that I look forward to because we got to see the teams in action in the quarterfinals. Now we've learned exactly what they brought from Saturday into this Sunday and put it to use. Now can these same teams trend forward as we begin the semifinals?
I think trending forward is all these teams have done, aside from South Carolina, who has stayed exactly the same. Best of the best, undefeated at this event so far. Clemson, South Carolina, classic rivalry that goes back not just in Rocket League, but in all sports. Those universities are at each other's throats. Unfortunately for the Tigers, I went to South Carolina for a couple of years, and I have the Gamecocks taking this one.
Ooh, I didn't see that in you, to be honest. All right. I think it's a good bet. Honestly, I want to be the one that's like, hey, I'll play devil's advocate, go the other direction. But I got nothing on you there, man. I think USC is going to get the better of Clemson here in this series. I think it'll be a little bit closer than maybe some will be anticipating, especially when Clemson came off that big win against UNCG.
big win it was indeed. Clemson looked comfortable in that matchup. And speaking of comfort, South Carolina looked comfortable in their matchup against UNCA. Nassau taking it over 1. Quick shot coming out from Beans. South Carolina goes down early against the Tigers.
Yeah, some early pressure. Nassau was great yesterday and continued that into the first series as well. And that's a great combination. You want to see that teamwork in action right off the bat, knowing, kind of showcasing yourself that you can go tit for tat with SJT and AUG combination that we've seen so many times at USC. If you can match their energy, it gives you the best chance.
Clemson taking this one themselves. Beans trying to get over Nassau with a bomb, able to keep this pressure on for Clemson. Team play is going to be the name of the game if the Tigers want to come out successful. It's easier to be good teammates, and it's easy when you have a teammate like Enzo who puts one into the top right. South Carolina start on the back foot, and Clemson is roaring.
Keeps going like this, I might change my mind and play devil's advocate for Clemson. Holy cow, all right. Giving us a game already. And so, I'm not going to lie, I looked a little bit nervous in that first series to see him pop off and do something like that against a great defensive team like USC. Certainly a great sign here as Turnip will try to turn up the field, but again, look at Beans. Able to put some pressure on from Clemson. They've been right place, right time pretty consistently, as Enzo will put on another one that'll challenge Og, but he got to that one.
Nassau keeping the pressure up. SJT alleviating some pressure with a bump and demo in the background, but Beans always there in midfield, always attacking the ball. He will get this one and scoop it into the corner, let Nassau get some boost. 50s out Og, and it stays in the orange half. Turnip trying to get to that one and gets bumped off of it for his effort. SJT low boost, taking it in the corner, pinching it down. Could be a shot, and Og is there to receive it. Og with a great strike, bringing the Gamecocks back within one.
You know, it's not the cleanest setup we've ever seen from USC, but at the same time, the pinch off the ceiling, still looking good, still trending, and you want to be able to kind of warm up that connection and see it happen multiple times throughout this game and obviously throughout the series. So game one, it's gotten close here. You know they can score in bunches too, but you know Clemson knows that, right? So they're going to have that in their minds. Whether or not they can shut it down, maybe another story. That is a good lead there from Nassau. Shot! It's in! What a goal here from Clemson again.
Mechanics on display for the Tigers. That's something I would expect to see in the Gamecocks arsenal. But good lord, tight angle double, popping it down to the ground over the last defender. Tigers coming out hot in this game, and the Gamecocks need to catch up.
Yeah, make a statement piece for sure. Come out, just to have a exclamation point on. Make USC start to doubt themselves. I don't think it's going to be that easy, but if anything's going to do it, it might be this. But SJT going to get a bit of ball luck here. Either way, it was kind of a pinch off the ground, and they're still back within one.
SJT just going for a 50. Nassau doesn't actually touch it. I didn't even see who that was on the side of Clemson, but it goes off the bottom of his car. Beautiful play coming out from South Carolina. Sometimes luck is better than skill, but we dive right back in. Nassau trying to get another goal, get that goal differential back to 2. Beans up early for it, going into the corner, popping this one down. 50s out, Og. No one from Clemson there to follow. Turnip gets a strong clear. Enzo pops it over into the corner, but Turnip is there to intercept. Long floating ball in the air. Og beats out Nassau, but Enzo should be there with the pop. Demo on the last minute. Turnip onto Beans. SJT onto Enzo, but this could be the breakaway. Nassau with a shot and a beautiful save off the post from Og.
Not sure how he got there, but that recovery speed was impressive. Here's Enzo on the sidewall. To get it past. It's been very difficult to do all in long. We'll float one in here for the Zone, but Og is going to be able to handle this one. Touch to himself. The quarter, he's going to eyeball Nassau as he came across their opportunity, but SJT will be able to get through it in time. Now in the 1v1 situation, but Beans will shut that one down. Right back in the hands of Og, but I think he got bumped off the play. Here's Enzo with a free net, and we'll slot that one too. Clemson back to that 2-goal lead.
Clemson is playing beautifully for one another, as you can hear Enzo meowing at the cameras in the background. I hope that one got picked up by the mic. But he gets a shot beautifully into the bottom right corner. Selfless team play coming out again, benefiting Clemson. They have done so well with it against UNCG, and now they are taking it to the Gamecocks. I think Clemson is going to need to take this series in short order, because the longer you play the game, the longer that man on the ball Og gets to warm up. SJT, Mechanic Mechanics coming out as well as Og. If they get hot, that's when I would be scared. What a beautiful passing play. Turnip over to Og. Team play coming out for the Gamecocks.
Nassau had no choice but to go off his own back wall, and the rest of the team either didn't read it or didn't hear the comms, but either way, we're able to get to that touch, and you leave 3 out in the box. Be an easy finish here for USC, and the Gamecocks have some life here in game number 1. This has been a very long game number 1 in my perspective, at least. It's minute 50 left, barn burner for sure, and even still, let's play into a situation where you've left too much time on the clock. As USC starts to heat up, it'll be more and more difficult for Clemson to be able to hold on.
Clemson booming this one downfield. Like you said, this is a high-scoring affair. SJT does well to keep this one close, trying to beat out Beans. Beans 50 off to the sidewall, but Enzo is the first one to whiff. Turnip with a shot, but he puts it off. SJT with the follow-up, and finally, the Gamecocks break through. Tie game with 1.5 minutes remaining.
I thought that Enzo was going to be able to get to that last challenge as well. SJT found the loose change again. Clemson, you can't let freebies for the Gamecocks. You had not given away a couple of goals, you would have had it. That same 2-goal lead that you've had throughout would have been feeling a lot better, but USC has seen that door cracked, was able to just walk right through here at this point, be able to march their way back to an equal standpoint here with 1:15 left.
That's what's so scary about this Gamecock squad. They have the mechanics to back up their play. So sometimes you get a miracle goal, but it's not a miracle if it can happen over and over and over, as we've seen from them so far. Beans selfless play and gets a goal from it. Bump on the back line. Massau gets credit with the assist, but Beans, I think, does it himself. A little bit of an assist from SJT, getting bumped into it, and just like that, the Tigers take the lead.
The Gamecocks are feeling how much Clemson's trying to be pesky, right? Be able to get those bump attempts at the very least and manage their way into a situation where they can free it up. And even though USC has done what USC does best, which is pressure in and be able to cut that lead in a blink of an eye, they're still going goal for goal. Still finding these opportunities. You still got Bean and Massau in front for a bump attempt, but this one will fall right back into the box. And Turnip will be able to get back onto this one. From the sidewall, up in the air, waiting for somebody to go and challenge, but nobody ever did. And Enzo will have to just kind of fend it off from the goal line.
Great defensive stand coming out from Clemson, and you know the mechanics are on display. SJT trying to get a triple touch off the ceiling, off the backboard, but a great save out from Enzo. Og reads it, Turnip with the shot, and the tying goal. Pressure from the Gamecocks starting to build, and now we have a tie game, 20 seconds left.
Yeah, Colson, you could sense that was coming too. It's just, one of those situations, Turnip is diving, and Clemson's kind of twiddling their thumbs to some degree there on the defensive side. Can't allow that much time and space. Big goal for USC. Obviously, we've transitioned to best of 7 here in this day 2, so it's still a long series ahead of us. All signs point to Clemson being relevant here in this one. It's now not able to get to this one, though. SJT with a grand opportunity. Under 10 seconds left. Game 1 to be decided here in the last little bit. Next goal will win this game. This is off the back wall. An opportunity. Turnip's up for it. It hits the ground instead. No goal. It'll be overtime here in game number 1.
You can't say it was lag because we are on land, so whatever fraction of the ball stays out of the net, it's accurate. South Carolina with all the pressure, though. Og with a quick shot. Massau with a save down. Pass over. Turnip to SJT. SJT shot! And a top left strike. Feeling robbed from their earlier 0-second chance. They strike within 15 seconds and steal away a high-flying, high-scoring game number 1.
Game number 1. Incredible. Clemson able to jump out with all sorts of traction, be able to dive into the semifinals and say, hey, we're here, make a splash. But USC still able to find a way there in overtime. And 11 goals on the board here in this game number 1. If this is going to be what this match is, I could not be more excited. I know it's a buzzword for casters, but I'm actually legit so excited for the semifinals based on what we saw from that game.
I hope that it stays like this, but I imagine both teams will tighten up a little bit on defense. Right now, we see 4 saves coming out from each of their teams. But a crazy amount of offense is being played as well. We just need to tighten up on the defensive rotations. Each team clearly feels like they can win on offense, and I don't blame them. 5 goals and like 90% of games at this skill level will get you the win. But against South Carolina, you have to get 7 because they can get 6. I'll refrain from doing what I did earlier with you because those two numbers back to back tend to drive me a little bit insane. But we have a couple seconds before we dive right back into this next match. I'm looking for Clemson to be a little bit more defensive. I'm looking for South Carolina to do the same, but a close scoreline will probably remain.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it will be that close. Unless Clemson, if they even sleep for even a couple minutes, we've seen how fast this can happen. And in USC, it seems like it's a drawn up like SJT OG combination we've seen so frequently. And once you see them strike that fast into a game number 2, makes you a little bit nervous, but it's the same trend of just high goal scoring. It seems like it's going to go the same way here, man.
I think Beans thought that Og was going to drop it and try to 50 with low boost. And Og, knowing that was going to happen with low boost, just flicks it over, catches the last back out, and that leads to an early goal. SJT and Turnip trying to do it themselves, but Enzo low boost off the ceiling, double commit coming out. A little bit of nerve showing from the Clemson Tigers. Pass SJT with the shot. Og on the nose of SJT, and eerily similar to the ending of game number 1. SJT puts that top left.
It's a sixth sense. It is. It's just, I know where you're going to be. I can tap it down. You don't even have to look at this point. You don't even have to comm, technically. Just great placement right where you know your second man's going to be, and they're always proactive, always looking for more. And Wilson, this team is starting to click. Makes you nervous for Clemson, especially when they're getting goals in a row. Another opportunity there on the goal line. His Turnip, he's got 3 members of Clemson up, and that's just kind of the pressure and results of just how quickly you need to be able to get on these balls. It makes you a little bit nervous there as a defensive Clemson.
Clemson is starting to iron out their defense still, calling each other off the ball. Nassau is able to get that one out. I need a little bit more aggression from them still. SJT and Turnip are playing with each other, getting these great passing plays, but Clemson needs to keep this one slow, keep it controlled, because once you're high flying in the air, the mechanics of the Gamecocks begin to show. 2 bumps come out. Enzo with a soft touch over to SJT, and this is where he's scary. Up into the air, flip reset, but Enzo, beautiful selfless play, diving back to the ball, allowing his team to stay within 2.
Did a couple of things. Number 1, you get a good challenge, so you're forcing their hands early to make a decision early, and then you also get out in front. In addition to that, you had Og pressuring there too, so I love that touch to be able to just cut that out of the equation. You catch USC a little bit farther up because of their commitment to that bump, but you weren't able to make them pay on the other end. That's the only thing that I would like to see from Clemson, would be to put pressure directly back on, and granted they were out of boost, so it would have been difficult to do anyways.
Yeah, so far I've seen South Carolina just own that pressure game, and if you don't have that mid-control, you can see the boost totals for Clemson are pretty low. This has left the door open, though, as Beans is able to scoop up that mid-boost and get a shot on target. SJT does well, but gets demoed for it. Enzo trying to get one in, but Turnip does a great job of popping this one up into safety. Right now, pressure for Clemson is building onto the Gamecocks have. Enzo looking for a bump, doesn't get it. Masso pre-jumps a little bit too far, maybe expecting a pass, and here is where the Gamecocks are dangerous, but Enzo does well, keeping that pressure. Whiffs on the ball, but Beans is there for it. One of the crazy things about lobbies like this is if you and I were playing, right, someone's going to be on that ball because we're expecting the whiff. But in lobbies like this, the Gamecocks don't expect the Clemson player to have a missed touch. Og with a crazy mechanical shot almost going into the back of the net. The Clemson Tigers get away with one.
Yeah. I like it. So the way he was able to read that play whenever Beans was taken out of it, just realized that he wasn't going to get to it. He played it back to his own zone. I think decisions like that are going to go a long way. And now they have a little bit of space here. SJT forced his shadow a little bit, but he's good for it, because he'll just easily drag this one out to center field. Turnip is waiting. Another pass from Og. That one just a little bit off the mark too.
A little bit off the mark, but scary as South Carolina gets these opportunities, and they will tighten up as the game goes on. Enzo with a backflip. SJT on the back wall trying to put this one down, but couldn't get the touch on it. Turnip still sending it, and Enzo does well to 50 it into the corner, into safety. Nassau taking time as much as he can before Turnip gets there. SJT pops this one over, but Enzo with a great touch, buying his team precious seconds to get some boost, recover, and recuperate before the South Carolina attack continues.
Nassau didn't get the touch he wanted to. Ended up going off the sidewall, so it was an open side, so nothing harm done. What a pass there. Good velocity on that shot too. The accuracy, the only thing keeping that out. It wasn't by much that he missed. Turnip is going to play it right back in. Nassau shuts it down there with great presence and positioning there on the back wall. It's got Og still on it, glued to it, trying to toss it down to SJT. That sends that they have together was read actually by Clemson, knowing because they've seen it so many times already in the series.
South Carolina Turnip on the ball with a flick over one, but Enzo does well to tap this one close, keep it close, and try to 50 SJT, which he does. Beans going on, it gets the past one, but Turnip with a great demo, able to swap this momentum quickly. Turnip trying to show off the mechanics warm-up of SJT with a whiff, but it's super awkward for Enzo, but he does well to recover, get this one over into the corner to Massow, and Clemson Tigers stand strong on defense with 30 seconds left.
Is going to play it high, kill some more time off this block here. What a shot from an angle, but it'll hit off a couple of posts, stay out. Now a flick play here from Clemson. They know that they're down by 2. They only have 20 seconds left. Can't give away possession like this. Of course, Ogden Chase here to the corner, but he's so good at being able to control this ball and kill more clock. But it falls down to Enzo. This one off the corner. Easy read for Turnip to make, and easy sequence out of the zone. Another bump for good measure to kill it even further, and that will solidify it here in this game number 2. The USC will go up, and as much as Clemson has kept it close, and again another situation, you just can't find the goal scoring here in this one, and that's why USC is out to their 2-0 lead.
I like the ideas of Clemson as they actually take a timeout to kind of reset, hit the mental check. But I like what they're trying to do. They're trying to swap the play style. Unfortunately, when you go against South Carolina, they're mechanical. I've noticed Clemson trying to be a little more passive. They were letting the Gamecocks just take their space on the ball and hoping that a weak shot would come out from it. But if you do that, the South Carolina team knows you will. They're like, oh, you'll take your hands off the gas or your foot off the gas for a second, and we will too. They matched that pace extraordinarily well and were able to throw the ball mid. Look, 100% goal participation coming out. We had a crazy amount of shots, 15 on the side of the Gamecocks, and just one lone shot for Clemson.
Yeah, exactly. Kept them where they couldn't even get a shot off at all because you're defending well. That's how you know your defense is working. It's not because you're making a ton of saves. It's because the other team doesn't have shots at all. You have to be proactive and cut into those lanes, just like we talk about SJT and Og all the time. Clemson has that same connection. It's just that USC is that step ahead to be able to cut it off. It's hard for them to get past midfield and be the team that they'd like to. And that's why Clemson is going to talk it over here. Enzo called that timeout, and it's just simply to be, how do we match this? It's very quick play. You haven't been able to generate offense since game number 1. It was a lot of offense, granted. It's almost how do you find that balance by between letting the play come to you and also proactively shutting them down. It's a hard game to play, and it's why USC has been so strong all weekend long.
Clemson has done a really good job, equally strong, but a little bit less so in this series so far. One of the things that stood out to me when they were playing against the Greensboro team was that they were aggressive all the time, and I think that's because they felt that they were better than them. I think you have to have that same confidence. Whether it's reckless, you still have to have it because that's what keeps you in games. And I think they respect the South Carolina players just a little bit too much. And that patience that they have, South Carolina has been taking advantage of. They're starting to find one another again. Beans puts it a little bit over Massow's head, but you can see the disruption that this patience is causing on the Clemson Tigers backline.
Talked to USC yesterday, at their interview at the tail end of what was a crazy series that we got to see to close out against Winthrop, and they were able to find that win. And SJT said, we're doing little stupid things that we know that we can fix. They know that they can play a little bit better. The fact that they're fine-tuning their gameplay is why you see goals like this. It's not satisfied with your Saturday that was already spectacular. It's getting better and better as time goes on, and you see that manifest against a great and strong Clemson team coming off a big win in round 1.
Clemson needs to get back into this series. The Gamecocks have dominated, going 3-0 and looking to go undefeated to win this tournament. Og trying to do it himself. Mechanics on display, getting past 2, but Enzo is there. Look at that read, trying to get it over to Beans. Beans not enough boost to make a play happen, but this is the pressure that I like from Clemson. Quick outlet passes, trying to get something going on the side of their offense, taking their time when they have it, just like South Carolina did to them earlier. One of the hardest parts about taking your time is being able to flip that switch back on. I know it's tempting to just chill, but you cannot do this against the Gamecocks. Taking a half second, like a little flick of the light switch, like the lights are jittering on and off, is totally okay, and it works. But you got to get back into it, and I like what I see from this Clemson squad so far.
Here we go. At that box, basically with their name on it as well. Able to punch it past Enzo before he can make a splash, keep it in the zone for Clemson. Go high for Beans, looking for that pinch play. Although it did technically go off both cars. Wasn't enough velocity to really challenge the back line here of UFC. Being left in that moment. I'm in that 1v1, but now Clemson's out of position here. 2 committed. You've got Alg out in front. Flip reset. Great job from Beans to challenge that early. Otherwise, that would have definitely spelled trouble.
Trouble indeed as the Gamecocks get a demo on the back line. The pressure begins yet again. Beans, calm and composed, able to save that one away into the corner. Nassau chasing this one, trying to find Enzo, but Enzo low boost, Beans low boost, Nassau low boost. This is where the Gamecocks strike. Crazy shot attempt coming out from Turnip, trying to flip and rotate under the ball, delaying it by just that half-second difference. SJT able to get by one. No one there from the Gamecocks to respond quickly, and that allows the Tigers to get back to that ball and keep this a one-goal game.
Beans trying to get proactive. That one off that post. I'd like to see Clemson play a little bit farther away from their goal line. It looks like they're kind of collapsing down back towards the net, and when that happens, that's going to be USC all day long, finding those passes at the top of the box is what we saw in game 1 early and late. See Og with the clean fake 2. It'll go off the corner. One misses, but that was followed by SJT. That one's wide open, and Enzo cheating will catch one and equalize here.
Defensive stand into a quick counterattack. I like Enzo holding space in the midfield, trusting his teammates to save the shot. It was a double commit from the Gamecocks that came out, and that led to the Clemson goal. And we saw that time and time again against the Greensboro squad, where they were patient on defense. So far in this series, it really hasn't worked out because South Carolina has been able to just out-mechanic them. But in this instance, it does work out. South Carolina being a little bit too antsy, trying to get a 2-goal lead, and because of that, they are punished and is now tied again with just under 2 minutes left.
I like how USC is having to adjust, like full load, trying to switch things up here. Let's throw somebody out in front to clear out the defensive sequence, and that's been good from Clemson to be able to force this because it keeps them from doing all the other things, right? It's a little distraction from their play style of just being able to pass and own the middle of the field. And right now, Ogdo going to make it difficult and will strike back, so USC will grab that lead right after the back.
I think this is a dangerous play style. This is like playing with fire. Nassau trying to put this one over into the corner, but a missed touch, just a half second too late on his flip, just causes it to pop out to the midfield. Clemson, I don't hate this play style, but it's very defensive, very scary. It relies on South Carolina messing up on their touches, and they're 4-0 for a reason, looking to go 5-0.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not sustainable so far against this Gamecock squad. Sometimes it works, but you have to have cleaner rotations. And right now, the Gamecocks are as clean as can be. SJT down to Og, making it a 2-goal difference with 1:12 remaining.
Make life easy for yourself. Find where Clemson is number 1. When you go ceiling high, it's not just to make a flashy play, right? You know, it allows you to see the rest of the pitch and where the defenders are positioned, and then you can put it in that one spot that the defenders can't get to. And then if you're not able to get to that, that throws off everything. Suddenly it's who's going to go for it. I'm backwards. I don't have boost. And it causes so much trouble, and USC knows this. Has been really good at being able to sense that blood in the water, if you will. Use that metaphor, but USC, again, just kind of marching away. And having their way here in a semifinals matchup just makes you think, is USC this deadly? And are they going to, is there anybody that can really go up against this team at this point?
It's one of the two teams. I hope you guys can hear the screaming in the match between Charlotte and Winthrop. One of those teams is energized and ready to be here. South Carolina might have to play them, but not if the Tigers have anything to say about it. We have seen crazier things than reverse sweeps, but it's going to be a tall task against the Gamecocks, especially when you don't have any pressure and nothing to show for it in the last 2 games. This touch coming out here, just a whiff on the ball. Beans tries to flick it over, but great patience from the Gamecocks, not letting Clemson get back into this game. Back pass from Turnip over to SJT. Nassau trying to rush the issue, but it's too little, too late. 2 seconds left, and the rest of the game is just a formality. As soon as this ball hits the ground, South Carolina will go up 3-0 in the series.
It's simple pace controlling, you know, Wilson. It's just, you know, if they're going to slow down the pace, they say that's totally fine. We're going to let you come to us then. And if you're not going to make plays, if your pacing is a little bit slower anyways, so then you challenge at the right time, and suddenly that's not going to work. And then you try to up that speed, but you're just playing it to the Gamecocks' bread and butter at that point in time. You're right in their wheelhouse of we're just going to transition back and have that speed. Clemson try to stick to the guns when we talk about a slower play style to try to calm things down a little bit, and USC was still able to find it. Yeah, they look awkward in some moments, but nothing that really shook the Gamecocks to the point where they weren't able to recover. So I think USC's got a great chance to just close out here in 4, to be honest. Clemson's tried and thrown everything at the wall. Unfortunately for them, nothing's stuck as far as the results go in these games, but they'll still have one more chance. Miracles are possible here, Colson, and that's why we play this one out.
I'm looking for something more akin to the shootout that we saw in game number 1, where Clemson had a crazy amount of offense, but now South Carolina has maintained that offense, and Clemson hasn't been able to enable it. They quadrupled their shots from last game, but again, they're only at 4. That's ridiculous. South
Yeah.
Carolina, like you said earlier, is so proactive that it is keeping Clemson at bay. I don't mind these fake challenges for the teammates playing it slow, but you still have to do that upfield. You're only doing it at your net, and that is where it's most threatening. South Carolina has done a great job containing this Clemson team.
I got the cast with Axe, who's the coach for USC. He's actually standing over there from our perspective, and he had great things to say, but said those improvements needed to happen too. Talked about how SJT is just that calm of a player and how every single player is until they start to get that momentum. And so that's why you see goals go in over and over again just so quickly in succession whenever they get that hype. So if you're Clemson, your best game plan coming in was, how do we interrupt that, right? How do we get into their comms, get into their heads? And well, a good way to do that is get an early lead. So step 1 at the very minimum here for Clemson.
The pressure from Beans at this midfield is what has made them so successful this far, and that's, I think, why you saw the success right there. Beans, even just using all of his boost, getting an awkward touch for the South Carolina defenders to read, allows Massow to put one on target, bottom right. That's beautiful. Enable the guy. He's having a day already as he gets the save on the back line, doing it both on defense and offense. Enzo puts this one into the Gamecock half, but Turnip has it. He's so dangerous with a full tank of boost over 1, but Beans does well to get there. This is where Clemson needs to have that midfield pressure. You're giving them way too much time on that ball if you want to stay in this series. I know you have the goal lead, but you've had the lead before, and South Carolina comes back and puts 6 on you in game number 1. That is when you had the lead. You had 5 goals. Keep it going. Be aggressive, because if you don't, it might as well already be over.
They're being a little bit more so aggressive here as Enzo was able to foot past 1, and now you see them right back into the zone. Massow's got the opportunity to make anything of it, right? No shots generated from that little sequence. Massow's not done quite yet. Looks for a touch, lingering on the back wall. They try to play it low, but Beans is going to try to challenge it. A good tap down there from Enzo. Need the third to come in. Massow off 2 posts.
Wow.
What a save from SJT. Not sure how he dug that one out, but he sure did.
SJT doing an absolute wonderful save. I can't believe that didn't go in. That ball went off both posts. It was about to go off the third one. It was just saved away. Beautiful defensive stand from the Gamecocks, and something they're not used to so far in this series. Turnip does well to pop this one into the corner. Og lets the ball go mid, trusting that the aggression from Clemson isn't there, and he was right for it. Now he gets a free ball, tries to 50 it out, and Massow gets a favorable 50 for them. Enzo beats out the Gamecocks defender, popped mid. Let's see if something can come from it. Og gets a crazy touch through. Turnip reads it. Wow! What a pre-jump coming out from Turnip. Are you kidding me? Og with the skim of a touch. Turnip just hovering in the air and bangs that one down, tying the game up with just over half the game remaining.
Can't recall a time where I've seen anticipation that strong in a play. That was unbelievable. You're already up, and you have 2 decisions. If he misses, you're able to get to it. But just anticipating and knowing the save by Massow just now, too. Both of these teams in these moments are reading the play so well. This has been quite the cooker for a 3-0 in the match score line type of game. But both teams showing up in moments. USC's been a little bit stronger, but this has been one that's been super fun to watch. No Beans! Oh, that one was in. That one was in. They saved their own goal. Really needed that one if you're Clemson.
Unlucky touch. It is what it is. Yeah, pulling a Colson, as my prod team says. Earlier in the show match, I saved a goal away from my own team. Sorry about that, Bearlight. Bearlight was on my team, but I should be apologizing to Skyline. But I need to lock back in, focus on what is instead of the pass. Beans should have gone for a bump, and unfortunately trying to get the touch, trying to get the glory, trying to get the goal is what ends up saving it. SJT and the Gamecocks holding on strong. Turnip trying to get back to this one. Double commit out from South Carolina. Beans just a little bit too much on it, trying to pass back to Enzo. Enzo popping this one back up over to Beans, but Og does well to intercept. SJT over to Turnip. Turnip taking his time on the wall. Enzo does well to keep it there, make sure it stays in a non-threatening position. Cleared over. SJT looks to control it as ping pong begins in game number 4.
Challenged by Beans now in the zone. Uh-oh, look out. The transition play, that one might be on target. It's
Wow.
on the crossbar, stays out. And also didn't stay into the box either. It went a little bit high, but the follow-up's there. SJT strikes through in a hurry. Uh-oh, Clemson. Late lead for USC.
Og with a beautiful bump onto the guy, Massow. Massow has been everywhere for this Clemson team, so why not take him out of the play? Og says, get out of here. We'll trust that my teammate can score on year 2, and he was right. Gamecocks take a late lead in this series, but not if anything Clemson has to say about it. No one there for the pass mid. This is the aggression that needs to be on the Clemson side. If someone was there, it was wide open, but because we're a little bit afraid, because we're not taking the space that we have, we're leaving wide open shots, we're leaving wide open goals on the table. And if you keep doing that, the last 45 seconds of this game will be rough.
Story of the last 2 games, Colson. It's just, let's play great defense. That's fine and all. But eventually, South Carolina finds ways to break through anyways, and then you've left yourself without offense. In those moments where you did create offense, you weren't as opportunistic as you could have been in those moments. Now it's 23 seconds left. Tournament lives on the line here for Clemson. They're going to try to turn this one in, but they're completely discombobulated. Could not find the right connection here. Now with 12 seconds left, here's Beans looking for Enzo, going to be interrupted. Now back in across the field here for Enzo, but it's going to be left there on a platter here for Turnip, and now it's going to be the length of the pitch here for Clemson or die. And Og, some reason, going to keep it up here. We'll keep eyes on it. He will kill it eventually, and the Gamecocks complete the sweep and have punched their ticket to the C3 Fall 2025 Finals.
And we will see who they end up facing over on the C3 Esports League broadcast. We have an absolute heater. It looks like Winthrop is currently up 3-0 against the 49ers. Not something that I could say I could expect, but wow, that would be a crazy matchup. But it is not over. 49ers up 3-2. But let's focus in, dive back into this matchup that we just saw.
Yeah.
Domination is the name of the game. On offense, on defense, everything the Gamecocks did was beautiful, near perfect. What do you think they did that led them to their victory?
They knew what Clemson was looking for, and they anticipated so well. And it wasn't just those big plays that you called out, the flashy ones where you're, getting reads, getting up early and being able to tap into the back of the net. But I'm talking about being able to jump in on the play when you need to. It's not just the second man that was active. The third man knew when to jump in at the end of the day and become a problem for Clemson to trap them in there. And because they had that support coming back, they had the speed, they had the boost control, and those are the moments that you can actually start to march forward a little bit and give Clemson those difficult times. They knew exactly where Clemson wanted to be defensively, and they were able to put it in the exact spot where they couldn't get to it and made it very difficult. Caused that confusion that eventually manifested itself, and it grew and grew and grew as far as the disorganization goes defensively for Clemson because they were on it from A to Z. It was just nothing further in my eyes than Gamecocks coming in and knowing what they needed to do and accomplishing in that, plain and simple.
Absolutely beautiful play coming out from these two rivals. Unfortunately for the Tigers, it was what it was. They couldn't come out with a game win, but we, I think, are tossing it over to an interview with one of the Gamecock players. I think we can shoot it over. Oh, actually, they're coming to us. I thought I was on A stream for some reason. They're actually coming to sit down over here.
Right,
I
yeah.
just, my glory on the A stream. I was so used to it. Shame on me for that. So stay tuned. We will be right back with an interview with one of the Gamecocks.
I'm tired of waiting, lost while I'm sitting at home. Dream of a new destination, lust for something unknown. Oh, you better leave it alone, and you know I'd rather get up and go. How long can I lie?
welcome back to the Esports at NC State stream. Today, I am joined with SJ2. Dominant series against the Clemson Tigers. What do you think your team did so well that led to that dominant victory?
Uh, we had really good teamwork today. The comms were flowing, had a lot of passes, just full on teamwork was the main goal here.
So, coming out of yesterday, you guys were undefeated. Remain undefeated with a win over UNCA, now over Clemson. Your guys' teamwork has taken a level up. Yesterday, I noticed a lot of solo plays, a lot of solo peeking, and you guys have the mechanics to do so. Why do you think you focused more on these team passing plays today rather than what you did yesterday?
Yeah, so the problem is when you go for these solo plays and mechanics and stuff, you can tend to start missing touches or simple stuff. We decided to slow that all down, play 50s, focus on the team plays, just because we're not going to sit here and put a bunch of shots on net solo. Like in our games against Winthrop and Charlotte, or more specifically Winthrop, they would have almost 10 saves a game. And it's just because we're throwing shots and solo plays at the net. But working together, we can get more creative and finally put it in.
Nice. So I don't know how that game just ended, but on the A stream, we have Winthrop against Charlotte. Which team are you hoping to get in the finals? Because yesterday in one of our last matches, I heard y'all throwing jabs at one another. Are you looking to face off against Winthrop, or are you trying to make sure that Charlotte doesn't get their four-peat?
Well, I would love to face either team. Uh, I think Charlotte a little more because the past 3 years we've kept losing to them. We want to be able to take them down to finally win this trophy.
Absolutely.
But Winthrop, I mean, it's always exciting playing them, and especially me and Phantom were going at it yesterday. Yeah, he's a really good player, and obviously he's getting loud, so it's a lot of fun.
We're having a blast here at the LAN. Thank you again to Visit Raleigh for sponsoring. Thank you again to NC State for hosting. SJT, before we go, this was our last game of this stream. The rest of this tournament will be on the C3 Esports League. I'll say it again, C3 Esports League over on that Twitch channel. But before we go, SJT, do you have any shout outs that you want to give?
Yeah, shout out to my club, the Gamecock Esports Club. We have a lot of support from the guys over there, and it's always a good time.
I'm glad to hear it. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you to our casters. Thank you to Prod. My name is Colson on behalf of everyone. Thank you for watching the C3 LAN.